Child, we taking it back to the 1970s with today's pick on the 28 and 28. We're going back to see Cotton Comes to Harlem. Cotton Comes to Harlem is the 1970 film about a con that is being played on the residents of Harlem by none other than Reverend Deke O'Malley, played by Calvin Lockhart. Now, what's this con that all the residents are falling for, you ask? Well, it turns out that the Reverend has told them by making small donations that they are actually buying parcels of land back in Africa. It's all a part of his Black Beauty movement. When New York City police officers, Gravedigger Jones, played by Jeffrey Cambridge, and Coffin Ed Jones, played by Raymond St. Jacques, they look into the scam, they find out that this cash is being smuggled in a bale of cotton. Yeah, like a good place to hide the money until it falls off the back of a truck during a getaway after the church has been robbed. Uncle Bud, who is played by Red Fox, actually finds the bale of cotton and sells it for $25 to a junk distributor. Holmes and Johnson find the Reverend's mistress, Iris, and after they rescue her from being kidnapped, she breaks down and confesses the entire plan. It turns out that the Reverend actually set up the robbery at the church so that he could still come out looking like the good guy, even though he was stealing the money. But what he didn't count on is being double-crossed by his co-conspirator named Calhoun. Now, somehow making its way to a theater in Harlem, this bale of hay is actually being used in one of Iris's friends' acts on stage. This is when we see Calhoun sneaking into the theater to try to retrieve it. Just as a note, Calhoun is actually in blackface during this scene. Holmes and Johnson find out that the Reverend is at the theater too, and once they apprehend him, they tell the audience that he is a complete fraud and he has stolen all of their money. So what happened to all the money, you're asking? Well, it turns out that Uncle Bud wound up finding the money again in the bale of cotton and escaped to Ghana and decided that he was going to live his retirement dreams out there. And that's it. Cotton Comes to Harlem was directed by the legendary Ossie Davis. This film is important because it is noted as one of the early examples of the blaxploitation genre. The opening theme song was actually written by Ossie Davis and performed by Melba Moore, who happened to be in Purlie on Broadway at the same time. And that play was also written by Ossie Davis. This movie is also Red Fox's film debut, and it is what actually had him considered to go on to do Sanford and Son. Godfrey Cambridge starred in a movie called The Watermelon Man, which actually wound up opening the same day as Cotton Comes to Harlem. There's a sequel to Cotton Comes to Harlem, which is called Come Back Charleston Blue, but it's not directed by Ossie Davis. You can watch Cotton Comes to Harlem on Amazon Prime, Pluto TV, or Apple TV for $3.99. I hope you enjoy Cotton Comes to Harlem, which is shot all around Harlem and also includes many of the Harlem locals and residents because there were such big scenes that needed to be done. Well, that's it for our 28 and 28 today. I hope you check out Cotton Comes to Harlem. And the next time you're in New York, come on up. All you gotta do is take the A train. See you tomorrow. Bye.